Hi everyone. I feel like I've just gone and pushed all the mess. You should see this mess on this desk. Oh my goodness. No matter how organised I get, it just gets so messy, like crammed full of stuff. Right, I definitely need my own craft room. But anyway, right, okay. Sorting everything out. Right. Okay, so in this video I'm just going to go through something that is really quite new to me. It's going to be a process video, but I just wanted to do a little bit of explaining first. Let's zoom you in a little bit first. Go that way. Okay, yeah. I've been, obviously, if you already know, I've been doing the 100-day challenge, 100-day project. That's it, 100-day project. And I thought it was a really good way for me to create art every day, starting from basics, you know, like you would as a child, and just not worry about what you're making, what you're creating. Just use whatever medium you have or want to use and whatever, and just create. And then let's, you know, just see what comes from that. And then I think that's a really good way of finding your own niche as well in your art, because it's like a journey of discovery, and it's been amazing for me. So this is where I've done most of it. This was just some florals I did before, but this was my first post, or my first day. This was day one. I'm going to post every single day regardless of whether or not I'm happy with the art, because it's more of an accountability thing to post on Instagram. So yeah, basically it is literally just scribbling with whatever mediums. I really wanted to use on here, what was it? These are those wax pastels, and I really wanted for the first day just to not experiment, but to show people what I meant. And I thought, well, crayons would be like the best thing. So what I had was, the closest thing I had was my wax pastels, and they're really inexpensive ones. They're not great at blending. I did do a test in here. Oil pastels, that's it. And yeah, they're not brilliant, but they were really good to just do this sort of scribble thing. So as I progressed, let's see, where am I? I've already shown, you would have seen this in another video. I've been really drawn to circles, and I've done a blog post about this, but yeah, I explained in the post, I was like really drawn to circles, and I thought, well, I can't like paint circles every day. And then I thought, hang on a minute, why can't I paint circles every day? You know, what would be wrong with that? And then I realised that actually it's my subconscious wanting me to paint circles for a reason. And I thought, we don't listen to that enough. I certainly don't listen to it enough in art. And I thought, if something says you can't do that every day, why is that? You know, of course you can. So I tried to go against it by painting triangles, you know, some geometric shapes. And no, it just, I mean, yeah, as nice as I found them, I was drawn again back to circles. So abstracts here, again, circles are in there. Circles made it in, and I did an abstract rainbow there. But yeah, these circles, and when I go through everything that I've done for the projects, I'm drawn so much to these. I just go, oh, I love that. It just speaks to me so much. And then I had the idea that I might just paste on top of the circle my like a catchphrase or something. Oh, hang on a sec, I'm turning the fire off. I'm really hot. Oh, I'm just going to open the window because it's just really hot. Yeah, so I thought, well, I would just journal on the circles. But then I felt like I was going against the grain by doing that. Oh, my dog. She's actually in her, like her pen at the minute, because she's had an operation and she really doesn't like being in there, and every time I open the window she whines because she wants to go out. But so I decided to do a spiral sort of thing here. So I'm progressing. So I did the spiral here. Then I did some more abstract circles, but using a different medium, well, same medium, same watercolour medium, because I'm always drawn to watercolours, but using the cheap set. And I love, love, love the candy colours. So I did a big circle the next day, and then I did some journaling on top of it. And I just thought, you know what, it was so, how do you pronounce it, that word, cathartic. And it really, really, it did something. It was like really, really healing for me, because I've been going through a really, really tough time at the moment. And as I did that, I felt like there was this massive release, and I feel like doing it more and more and more. So I've been making more and more circles. And then I used, this was pure experiment. I used pastels, so those chalk pastels. I really don't like this. I really wasn't happy with it. I hate it. So I thought, that's good, because now I know that I don't like using chalk pastels. And then last night I just did a really abstract circle, and I just played around with my paints. But then I thought, I really want to get back to doing the circle and the journaling on it, because as much as I love that, I really do, I'm not judging it or anything like that. I love the collage elements as well. It just didn't do for me what this does. So anyway, that's that. And then the other, when was it, a couple of days ago, I was like doing morning reading and journaling and stuff, and combined this with what I'm going through at the moment, and you know, considering I'm painting circles and I was writing a spiral, there was this part of me with my day-to-day life that was getting frustrated that I'm making the same mistakes in life over and over. So like, I set an intention, I set a goal, and I kind of fall off the wagon on one, and then I just mess up on another, and then I'm thinking, how many times am I going to say, oh, I'm going to start fresh, you know, and then something happens, and then, oh, I mess up, and then I just get so frustrated and angry that I'm back in the same place. My circumstances aren't changing. What is going on? And it honestly just really been getting on top of me, like with my neighbour and everything as well. So there's the anxiety side of that, and it just all piled on top of me. I had like a mini breakdown one night, and it all just came out, and it's my body's way of dealing with it all. And then I got angry with myself again. I thought, what am I doing? Why am I here again? You know, I'm meant to be this positive person. Obviously that's an unrealistic thing to be positive all the time, but I was annoyed with myself for experiencing that. Oh my goodness. So I'm reading this quote in a book, and I couldn't believe what it said. And I haven't got it on me, but I put it in the blog post, and I've actually put it twice in 2 blog posts, because it was just such a big deal for me. Right, so bearing in mind I'm painting these circles, okay, and I'm writing in the spiral, it just said something along the lines of, you know, the discussion, the dialogue was between a woman and her inner self, and it said along the lines of, why am I making the same mistakes again and again? And the inner self was saying, you're not going around in circles. It might look like you're going around in circles because you keep seeing that same mistake, but actually you're going up, you're going in a spiral. It's not a circle, it's a spiral. You're going up and up and up, you are making progress. But there is elements to ourselves that cause us to keep making that same mistake because of stubbornness or whatever, but eventually we will work beyond it in our spiral. We'll go up and up, and we make progress upwards, and one day we'll see it, and then we'll go, and then it will just, like a habit, bad habit, it will break, and then we'll form a new one, and then we'll keep progressing upwards and upwards. And it's really weird that ministered to me, that spoke so much to me in my situation, and at the same time I was doing these. So really my point is, I'm really sorry that I've gone on. I really needed to share this bit before I do the process, because I needed to explain it to you. My point is, if you are doing a little bit of art each day, just don't have any restrictions on yourself. Get a journal that you don't mind messing up. And then, like with this one, this was one that I bought and I didn't want to mess it up. So, but then I thought, no, I'm going to use it, because it's like going back to childhood, isn't it? You know, with my one of my favourite things as a child, Rainbow Bright. And I thought, no, I'm going to use this as I would as a child. So I did. And then there was no boundaries, no nothing. And I just experimented. And then I stumbled upon this. And I think it was because obviously I didn't have any, I wasn't going to judge myself. I was going to use everything that I felt that I, you know, wanted to use. And I really wanted to use those chalk pastels, but discovered, no, I really don't like them at all. I'll put them to one side. I might use them in the future, but no, it is watercolours and acrylics at the moment, and mark making as well. And I love with these circles, particularly these circles, the depth in them, the how much there is in this circle, just all the layers. So I'm going to try and do something similar today, but in a new journal that I have. And I'm going to start journaling in here by doing, I'm going to start by doing circles. I did test a page here, and it's taken really well, the watercolour really well. So I'm going to start doing them in here, these journal circles. And then when maybe one day it'll be like, I don't need to do them anymore, but I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to follow this. I'm going to go with the flow of it. And what these circles also represent, the colour, this element of the circle, not the writing, the spiral, but this element represents the mood. It's like you choose what colours you want, and it's sort of like, it's like that healing process, and you just put your mood on the page in colours. So there's your mood, so it's like a mood circle, and then you have the spiral element of your affirmations, your journaling. For me, I'm going to be doing, because I set new intentions yesterday, and I want to match up with those intentions some affirmations, because I haven't been doing that enough. So I need to put them together. So I think what I'm going to do is, once I do the circle, I'll take it from there, but I think I'll either journal, or it depends what I feel at the time, but I'll journal, or I'll put my affirmations and intentions on it, which is probably what I'm going to do. So yeah, I hope that made sense to you. Yeah, without further ado, I'm going to see, I mean, I would love to recreate something like this, because it just really speaks to me. So, but obviously I can't oversaturate this paper. There is going to be a video out. I'm going to put this video out first, but I'm going to do a reveal of my setup, my new Traveller's Notebook setup. It's a really funny unboxing, so it was really awkward because it was half term and I had to film it upstairs, and that was just really awkward. So let's zoom you in and speed up. once I finished this and let it dry, I came back to it, added the marks and looked at it, and I noticed that because of the size of the page, I was using a brush that was obviously really, really chunky and big and actually saturated the page, and I realised, I was like, oh my goodness, I just got carried away. And I wasn't doing like full circles either, I was just sort of doing like little brush strokes. And as opposed to this one, I was just doing like circular movements, so it's like it has this flow going around. And I liked both, I really liked both. So next I'm going to journal on top of this. I'm going to pick out some words, but before I do, I think what I'll do is, because I'm low on battery at the moment, I'll just go away and do that, then I'll take a photo and I'll add the photos to this bit. But this is such a healing experience, and if I write with black on here and can see it, good, but even if I couldn't see it, that really doesn't matter. It's all about the experience and getting it down on the paper and on the page. But I could also have like a little index. I could either write on the back what I wrote on the front here, or I could have an index. I could go to the back, do the page numbers, then add what I wrote to the back, so I've got it for documentation. So I would probably do that. That's just in case you wanted to try out this for yourself. It just feels like such a, it feels quite profound how I've come about this and how it feels, and it is such a, it's also such a mindful experience, in the sense that you can come before the page and create something without even having to think about it, without having any blocks. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a perfect circle, as you see from this. It will, you know, I mean, I'm just like taking each day as it comes. It could be like this, or it could be like this, you know, it could be anything. Just go with the flow, do whatever you want to do. So I'm going to write my affirmations, I think, on here next, and maybe an intention as well that goes alongside it, because that's what I feel like journaling at the moment. And then next I will show you the finished photo of it. So yeah, thank you so much.